It's a safe assumption that if somebody asks you out and they don't wear a wedding ring, that they're single, right? Wrong. Not in this case. Welcome to My Colorful Life After a Great Divorce. My name's Regan, also known as the Easy Ex-Wife, and on this channel we talk all about divorce and dating and leading a colorful life in your 50s and beyond. And like the title suggests, I dated a married man. And who was that married man? It was John the fireman. And I don't want the Jersey and the New York to come out, but I can't help it. What a scumbag. And John the fireman was my very first date after my divorce. And if you haven't watched that video, check that video out. But like I said, he is a fireman, and I used to walk by the station all the time, and we became very friendly. And he does not wear a wedding ring, which I think probably a lot of the guys over there don't, because they have such a physical job, and they're climbing ladders and using hoses and working with their hands. Some do wear wedding rings, because I have noticed that, but I'm guessing a lot just don't because of the physicality of the job. But regardless, after many months of flirtations, he finally asked me out just for coffee, but I don't think that matters because, listen, I'm a girl's girl, a woman's woman, a lady's lady. I am a supporter of women. And if I was still married and my ex invited a woman I did not know out for coffee, I would be upset. That is unacceptable. It doesn't matter how much you trust that person. Like, I am a complete stranger to this woman. Not to mention how many texts we have sent back and forth. Y'all know about when I cut my finger open, I reached out to him, and these texts are very friendly. These are not texts that a married man should be sending out. Am I right on this? Guys, I want to hear from you too. Women, I want to hear from you as well. And maybe you are thinking it's just coffee. And yes, you can think that. And when I was married, we had a big group of friends. And if I had gone to coffee with one of my good friends that happened to be a man that my ex was also friends with, I don't think that's that big of a deal. It never happened. If I was going out for coffee, I was probably going out with the wife and maybe the husband. Now, if I ran into one of the husbands that was a good friend of mine at a coffee shop, sure, no harm in sitting down and sharing a cup of coffee together. I think this is completely different. I don't know his wife, and who knows? Maybe she has seen some of these texts, and if she has, I am just so sorry about that, and I would love to have a conversation with her and apologize and let her know that I would have never in a million years agreed to go out with her husband just for coffee. I wouldn't have even done it if he was separated. Nope, wouldn't have. So you're probably wondering, how did I find out he was married? Well, basically, he told me. We were texting back and forth, our very friendly, flirtatious texts that I thought were completely harmless because I thought he was a single dude. And in the very last text that he has sent me, because I have not responded after this text, it just said, "Oh, tonight I'm making dinner for my mom and wife." What? So, like I said, I have not responded since then, since I got that text. And I was completely shocked and blindsided by it. And yeah, like I said, I just think it's really unacceptable. So here's what I want to know from you guys, because I haven't seen him yet. And I have an idea of what I am going to say to him. So let me tell you that, and then you can tell me your thoughts, if there's anything else you would add or maybe take away. But I'm going to try to, if he's with his fireman friends, I will not say anything. But if I catch him by himself, I'll just say, John, dude, you were married. You asked me out for coffee. That's not okay. And I'm guessing his response is going to be, it was just coffee. But, I will bring up the flirtatious texts, and I'm going to call him out on this, because I don't want people out there doing this. I don't care if you're male or female. It's not okay. So, listen, am I overreacting? I don't think I am. And I have mentioned this to a couple girlfriends, and they don't think I'm overreacting either. My married friends, it just fuels a fire in them. And then my single friends, feel bad for me, because I had been talking about him. I was excited about this date. We hugged after this date, and I'm not hugging random married men. So tell me your thoughts on this. I think this is a great topic. I'm kind of just over him completely. I mean, this was an eye-opener for me. I mean, if a guy asks me out, do I have to ask him if he's married or not? I don't think so. But again, another great topic to start the conversation rolling. You guys are amazing, and I just love that you're tuning in and you're listening to these stories. And I really hope that if one of you out there or a bunch of you out there is struggling being single, or struggling on making the decision whether or not to divorce, that this channel can just shine a little bit of light onto what you're dealing with. And divorce is so hard. I'm struggling. I think I struggle a little bit every day, that not a day goes by that I don't think about my ex. And I do miss him. I mean, we had a long history together. And when things like this happen, like with John, it makes me realize more that I was married to a good man. A man that would not have pulled a stunt like this. But that's not to say I regret getting divorced, because I don't. We had other issues, but deep down inside, he was a good man. We had our disagreements and our reasons for divorce, but I know that he was never out flirting with other women while we were married, and I don't think he was even doing that once we were separated. Not to mention taking anyone out on a date. And I don't say any of this to scare any of you guys. I just want to make everyone more aware of what is going on out there. And I don't want to be that person that doesn't trust other humans, because I really do believe most humans are good. But we need to be careful out there, and we definitely need to ask questions. Will I ask the next guy who asks me out whether or not he is married? No, I probably won't. But if it happens again, you're damn right, I will be asking, just to make sure that they're not married. And my guess is you can't always trust their answer. And listen, I'm not just stereotyping men into this category of being married and asking women out on dates, because it goes both ways. All these things to talk about, I mean, all I can do is really laugh about it and still look forward to living a colorful life. And you know what? With every single one of these experiences, I guess my life just gets a little bit more colorful. I love you all so much. I thank you all so much for tuning in again. I appreciate you. I love your comments, and I love making these videos for you. It's actually, I mentioned how I want to help people with this channel, but you guys have helped me so much. And every time I put out a video, it's a little bit of a therapy session for me. I'm not a big journaler, but it's almost like instead of getting it all out on paper, I'm getting it all out with my voice. And every time I share a video with you guys, it puts a smile on my face, and it really just does make me feel a little bit lighter. So I thank you so much. I love you. I'll see you next time I see you. Bye. Today, Fiona is just laying at my feet. She's a tired girl. Oh, and my next video is going to be about, I'm going to fill you in on my date with the Italian guy, which is happening this weekend. This is the guy that sent me what I thought was a little bit of a questionable text, and I love the response I got from you guys. Check out this video. I'll link it over here, and then you'll understand what I meant by the questionable text, and it will give you a little preview of what happened before the date actually happened. Okay, bye.